Deep in Whiskerwood Forest, where sunlight dappled through a canopy of giggling leaves, lived a most unusual pair of siblings. There was Lily, the meticulous planner, whose backpack always contained a map, a compass, and at least 3 backup plans. And then there was Tom, her brother, the glorious daredevil, who believed the best plan was to have no plan at all. One sunny afternoon, their wandering led them to a clearing they'd never seen before, and in its center stood a sight that made both their jaws drop. A tree whose branches weren't laden with leaves, but with shimmering rainbow-colored candies. It was the legendary magic rainbow candy tree, but they weren't the first to find it. A tiny, hyperactive squirrel with a tail twice his size, whom they'd later name Pip, was already there, launching himself from a branch with a twig catapult, only to miss a lollipop and land headfirst in a pile of leaves with a comical poof. Instantly, the race was on. Forgetting their sibling bond, Lily and Tom declared an all-out candy war. Lily, ever the strategist, began systematically gathering candies by color, stacking them into neat, organized pyramids. Tom, true to form, simply tried to climb the tree, shaking branches wildly and catching the falling sweets in his upside-down shirt, creating a chaotic, sugary avalanche. All the while, Pip, the master of mischief, saw his opportunity. With a mischievous glint in his eye, he executed a series of tiny, hilarious heists. He'd zipline down a vine to snatch a gumdrop from Lily's pile, or use a bent straw to blow a Sour Patch Kid right out of Tom's hand. Each theft resulted in a wild slapstick chase, with the kids tripping over roots and each other as the tiny squirrel scurried away, chattering victoriously. The competition reached a fever pitch, and finally, exhausted and triumphant, they decided to sample their winnings. This was their greatest mistake, and their greatest discovery. Tom popped a cherry red jawbreaker into his mouth, and immediately began bouncing around the clearing like a human pogo stick. Lily, nibbling a blueberry swirl, suddenly burst into a booming, dramatic opera aria that startled a nearby flock of birds. Tom, mid-bounce, grabbed a lemon drop and started shouting, "Ah! Niknoputstanaki." Plitch, the candy had wild magical side effects. Soon, the entire forest was a stage for delightful chaos, as bouncing, opera singing, and backwards talking filled the air. As they watched Pip juggle 3 yellow candies while speaking perfect gibberish, a realization dawned on them. The real magic wasn't in hoarding the candy. It was in the silly, unpredictable fun it created. Laughter replaced their rivalry. Together, they gathered all the candy, and, with Pip as the official master of ceremonies, threw a grand party for all the creatures of Whiskerwood. The forest came alive with bouncing badgers, opera-singing owls, and backwards-talking bunnies. Lily, Tom, and Pip had discovered the sweetest truth of all. The best adventures and the best candy are the ones you share.